Welcome to another episode in my series of analyzing Web3 gaming laws and how various laws apply to Web3 game companies and Web3 game tokens. This particular video is going to dive into taking a look at gambling laws. Just a little bit about me. I'm an attorney, licensed practice at Virginia State Bar and the Patent Bar. I've won prizes at blockchain hackathons, also been a hackathon organizer and a hackathon judge. I've helped form Web3 gaming, decentralized autonomous organizations, or DAOs. I've also been an expert witness in Web3 gaming litigation, and I teach classes on Ethereum, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency regulation. I myself have taken a lot of classes, including graduate courses in blockchain and cryptography and cryptocurrency from Stanford University. I have a master's degree in blockchain and digital currency from the University of Nicosia in Cyprus. I've got a master's degree in computer science from Virginia Tech, and I have a Bachelor of Arts and a law degree from George Mason University. And I'm a published author in the blockchain and crypto space. So just a reminder that this presentation is not legal advice. This is a general statement and concepts of law. Legal advice is actually based on applying law to specific facts for a specific client and requires an attorney-client relationship between the client and the attorney. So this is not that. And there are a wide range of different legal issues that apply to Web3 gaming tokens and Web3 gaming organizations. Issues around legal entity formations, issues around intellectual property rights, for artwork and brands and so forth for non-fungible tokens, issues around security law, issues for tokens if you're using tokens for fundraising, anti-money laundering regulations, consumer protection issues, data privacy issues. This episode is going to dive into gaming and gambling laws, but there's also issues around regular business law issues like contracts, employees, grants, tax laws, and AI generated content issues as well. So there's a lot of potential legal issues, and this is my third video in the series. So let's talk about gambling. So gambling is basically paying for the chance to win a prize. The general definition of gambling in the United States is that it covers only those activities in which a person pays consideration for the opportunity to win a prize in a game of chance. And now gambling is regulated on a state-by-state basis with separate laws in every state and even separate laws for the Indian tribes. The definition above is going to have minor changes depending on the jurisdiction. Generally, if an organization wants to offer a game, they should either apply for a gambling license to offer a regulated game or offer a game that does not meet the regulated gambling definition and therefore does not require a gambling license. Now, because gambling laws vary on a state-by-state basis, any attempt to offer online gambling should utilize technology that determines where the user is playing from, so that the provider of the game can verify that the users and the provider are complying with the local gambling laws and regulations for where the provider of the game is located and where the user is located. This is sometimes referred to as, geolocation technology, and sometimes if you prohibit people from participating from certain jurisdictions, they call this geofencing. So how much chance is necessary for a game to be considered gambling and to be regulated? So most games have some element of chance. For example, in a football game, you might flip a coin to determine who goes first. Or in a game of chess, you might flip a coin to determine who goes first. So the first issue is how much chance is necessary for a game to be covered by gambling regulations. And in the US, there are at least 4 separate tests that the states use. Most of the states use the predominance test, also known as the dominant factor test. This test focuses on whether skill or chance is the dominant factor. If chance is dominant, it's gambling. If skill is dominant, it is not gambling. So, for example, going back to my example, the football game or the chess game where they flip a coin to determine who goes first, the football game or the chess game is probably a game of skill because the coin flip is unlikely to determine who wins. And in fact, there's been statistical studies showing that the coin flip has a very low percentage chance of indicating who wins in chess or in football. Now, a minority of states follow other alternatives to how they determine how much chance is necessary. A small number of states, including Alabama, use a material element test. A game will be gambling if chance is a material element, even if skill is more important than chance. A small number of states, including Tennessee, prohibit any amount of chance. So flipping a coin to determine who goes first would actually result in a game being considered a game of chance if they prohibit any chance. And then a small number of states focus instead on whether the game or contest appeals to one's gambling instinct. If a game appeals to a gambling instinct, then it is considered gambling, even if skill outweighs chance. Now, something else to think about when you're thinking about chance is, what is chance? Because, the previous slides kind of compared chance versus skill. Well, let's think about it this way. Randomness, like shuffling cards or rolling dice, qualifies as chance. But randomness is not the only source of chance. Imperfect information can also be a source of chance. For example, rock, scissors, and paper, a famous game that, little kids learned on the playground where two competitors would each reveal their hands simultaneously, and rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, but paper beats rock, depending on what you did with your hands. Well, rock, scissors, and paper involves making choices without knowing what your competitors are doing because you hide your hand and you reveal them simultaneously. And so because you have imperfect information, when you reveal your hand, you don't know that your friend has selected that your friend has selected. That involves chance. In contrast, in chess, you know exactly what your competitors are doing. You make your move, then you watch your competitor make his or her move. And so there is no imperfect information in chess. Or, for example, let's suppose we gave a multiple choice test on quantum physics to 8-year-olds who haven't been previously exposed to physics. Their answers to that multiple choice test are presumably going to be random since they don't have the knowledge to answer the questions. And so, therefore, that multiple choice test would qualify as chance. So, removing the element of consideration from a prohibited gambling activity would convert the activity to a non-prohibited gambling activity. For example, a sweepstakes. A sweepstakes has the element of chance and the element of awarding a prize, but it doesn't have consideration. So there are two general recommended approaches to taking a game from a regulated game and making it non-regulated by removing consideration. The first option is what's known as completely free to participate. We let everyone participate freely. We hand out prizes, but we don't charge for the opportunity to participate. The alternative is known as the free alternative method of entry, where you can charge someone for a ticket, but you can also give them a free opportunity to obtain a ticket. So under the free alternative method of entry, common examples are mail in, call in, or fill out a web form. This method of entry should not be difficult or onerous, and it should not be at a disadvantage compared to those who purchase entry. So, for example, going back to, let's suppose you wanted to offer a sweepstakes using cryptocurrency. If you're using the free alternative method of entry approach, you could sell opportunities. You could also, make it a free alternative method of entry through a web form being filled out. Just make sure that the people who fill out the web form are not at a disadvantage compared to those who actually purchase a token to participate. So this concludes my video taking a look at how gambling laws might apply to Web3 gaming tokens.